So I'm here to review the Firefly board game. I'm going to say why to play it, not how to play it. There will be rules, but it'll be why they're fun. And there is a solo mission, and I am technically so lonely, but I'm not going to use that one to exemplify, because there are 5 more missions. So for this mission card, you have to complete each of these goals in order. For example, the first one, you have to fly to a certain planet, misbehave twice, and then if you roll badly, you have to pay $1,000 and the job's still botched, which means you have to wait till next turn. But you can roll better and complete the job. Move on to the next mission. You need to hire a crew to make stuff like doing jobs and misbehaving easier. To hire a crew, you fly to a planet that has a deck associated with it, and you get to search through the entire discard pile. Consider 3, buy 2. For example, earlier I saw Shepherd Book and an improvised hacking rig get discarded in Persephone, and I know I want those 2, I don't want the other thing that's over there. So I get a chance on the 3rd. Now you never want to take 3 from the discard pile, because you only get to buy 2. You might as well take a chance. And you can take 3 from the unseen pile if you want nothing from the discard pile. So Shepherd Book costs 0 to hire and 0 to do jobs. But he cannot do immoral jobs. He can do crime jobs, he can't do immoral jobs. He won't go on the mission. You can't count his pips towards the mission. And an improvised hacking rig sometimes you need for a job. For example, that you need a hacking rig and that many pips amongst all your crew. But my 3rd card I drew was a regular hacking rig, which you don't have to discard, it always gives you a pip. This one only gives you a pip if you discard. You can also find ship upgrades in the deck. For example, this one lets you move 1 more space and mosey up to 2. Now moseying is good because it doesn't cause you to flip the deck when you move. To move 5, you burn a fuel. Burn a fuel, and you go 1, keep flying. 2, you have the option to stop and load 2 cargo, or just keep flying. 3, now you're in border space, keep flying. 4, border space, keep flying. And then 5 to your destination. And now the other player, the player to your right, gets to move the Alliance cruiser. And now, if you have any contraband, you're screwed. Because as soon as you're in the same space as that, you gotta resolve this card. Both decks have a really bad card. The blue one has the Alliance cruiser, the red has a Reaver cutter. Now this means somebody's probably gonna die. Unless you have a pilot and a mechanic, then you could do a barrel roll out of there. Or Crazy Ivan. The themes are really fun in this game, and they also work really well for the gameplay, not just for the fun of the themes. Like I said earlier, he's the one guy you can't take on a immoral job, but you can do an immoral job while he's on the ship, you just can't use his pips. Now, if you do an immoral job while he's on your crew, he gets a disgruntled token. And while he's disgruntled, if you're in the same space as another Firefly ship, they can buy him off of you. He's 0, they'll probably just take him. If you were going to get a second token, he just goes back to Persephone. He goes back to whatever deck that you got him from. You have stuff like the Crybaby, which lets you fly away from the Alliance cruiser. It just sends out the little distress signals everywhere. You have Bester. Now, if you roll a 6 in this game, you get to re-roll and add it all together. Add all the pips together. Unless you have Bester doing a mechanic check, then he's a dipweed, and you don't get to re-roll. You have Saffron, and if anybody else draws Yolanda or Bridget, you gotta discard her, and likewise for the other 2, because her identity is revealed. You have River Tam, who's unpredictable. You have to roll to see what kind of pip she's going to give you, but if you roll 6, she gives you 3 of any kind you want. And if she gets a disgruntled token, she doesn't turn into a karate party like Miranda, she just... and then if you have Simon, he gives you +2 to her rolls, because he can kind of rein her in. You're doing jobs a lot in this game to get money, to get paid, so you can buy things, so you can complete mission goals, because sometimes they cost money. Now, sometimes jobs are real simple. This one's legal. It doesn't net you much money, but it doesn't have any needs for your crew. This one has needs. It pays you a good bit more money, but you need a hacking rig. Now, sometimes a job is illegal and immoral. Now, the moral crew, which it will say on their card, will do it. They'll just get disgruntled. They'll do an immoral job, they're just not happy about it. Again, illegal is fine, immoral is different. They'll do a crime job all day long. And they have fun little... variants, like you have to try to negotiate with diplomacy. You can get paid more or less sometimes. And then little things like heavy load, so you have to spend 2 fuel to move regularly because your cargo is very heavy. Legal jobs will often have you carrying cargo. Now you can put it in the stash, but the stash is there for whenever illegal jobs will have you carry contraband, because sometimes a card that makes you search will not make you search the stash. Now when you're solid with the rep, you can sell them contraband, you can sell them cargo for all the extra stuff. If you come across Alliance space and they take your illegal fugitives and contraband, you can't go back to the source of the job and get more. You have to find it yourself to complete the job. And you can only have 3 jobs open and 3 jobs in your hand. So you can't just quit that job, you gotta finish that job. which you can find them in like random cards when you're flying through border space or through alliance space, for example. There we go. This one you can deal with some pirates, and you might lose a crew, but you can also load 3 contraband and come to a full stop. Of course, they don't like whenever you deal with pirates, because, again, they're dying. Some cards will require you to misbehave. For example, there's that, or all over this mission card. Now, you have to do them all in a row. You can't do 2 and then go back and do a 3rd. If you screw up, you gotta start from 1. It's like a difficulty rating. So if I gotta do 2, I draw 2, I flip 1. If you have a fake ID, or you know, one of your characters has a fake ID, you proceed. You're just done. Go on to the next card. But if you don't, you have to choose option 1 or 2. This one has bribes, which is fun. For every $100 you pay, it brings that number down 1. So if you pay him $300, it brings it down to 6. All you gotta roll is 6. Or if you pay $800, you roll the 1, you call it a day, you move on. And this one is not that easy. You have to roll 7 or kill a crew member, but removes all disgruntled if you roll 7 or more. Or you can choose to hump them. That's what it says. It says hump them. And disgruntle all moral crew. I assume that's a saffron. So it's fun, it's fast-paced, and it lasts long enough to invest in, especially since you're building up so much stuff. Now, solo play is about an hour, 2 people's around 2 hours, more people's gonna be around 3 hours. But the turns don't drag, it's pretty fluid. You spend this time and money, and you build up your ship, and build up your crew, and give them equipment, and you feel like a king when you start passing through those misbehave cards like they're nothing, and then you have to pay your crew $1,000, and you feel like a good captain again. But even if your crew is really strong, and you only have to roll 2, and you roll and you see that 1, it hurts inside, because somebody might die. And if it's a Reaver encounter, and I've got Wash, he's going to be the one to die. That's just how it has to be. I fear Joss more than I love Wash. If somebody else has a crew member that you really want and they're disgruntled and you're chasing them down while they're trying to do their business, trying to buy him before he's disgruntled, before he's relaxed. So you get your crew just right and you rush and get that gold token, then everybody else sees that they're behind, they've just been building a crew. You gotta rush to get 2 and 3 before they get to 1 because they might just blast her 2 or 3. It gets real exciting. So all in all, I really like it. It's really fun. High five for my first board game review. So lonely.